Thank you. Thank you. No. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the... Oh, wait, that's for Gary Oldman? Oh, snap. Welcome back to DaGaimez. I know that applause is for me, gamers. It's cool. I really appreciate you guys joining me back on this episode. It's been a while since we talked about Star Citizen. Don't worry, it will always be here. Gary Oldman bringing legitimacy to this game. Tons of actors being used for Squadron 42. Gary Oldman, Mark Hamill. Come on, Luke Skywalker, give me a break. Very underrated, Mark Strong. So we got tons of people here getting in on this, and it's making it much more legitimate. Money is being spent. We're going to talk all about Citizencon, what I liked, what I didn't like. That's what we do here on DaGaimez. And welcome, Gaimerz, to another episode.
Well, Chris, he is a sort of great leader, soldier, tactician in the sort of the vein of someone like General Patton and like Montgomery or Alexander the Great.
Wow, and there we go, having Gary Oldman comparing Chris Roberts to Alexander the Great, to which I'm sure Sandy creamed herself listening to Gary Oldman calling her husband Alexander the Great. I think that's a little over the top. I will say that Chris is a visionary. Obviously, Gary's talking about Chris's directing methods. I'm not too sure he really knows much about the game, as later in this interview, he pointed back to the ship behind him, asked what it was, and then Sandy basically told him that these are the ships of the game, that people have purchased them, and that they're going to be amazed that you took the time to point out the M50, which is a racing ship. Then she asked, what connection do you feel that the movie has within the game of Squadron 42? What do you feel like the big connection is? And Gary talked about the characters, becoming part of you and realizing, how important that the connection is that you make with those characters, just like any other movie. But more so with this game, I believe that the actual connection is us, the citizens. We are the characters of the game, and I think he missed out on that, obviously, because he's not as tuned into the game as we are, especially this very class act lady, Sandy. Let's listen to this. This is how they opened up Citizencon. And it really set me back.
It makes me really happy and makes the countless hours and sacrifice to the work worthwhile. In conclusion, I would like to thank from the bottom of my heart our whole team and all of our fans for sharing this opportunity and experience to see our shared dreams come true.
It's like a scene out of the game, after you've beaten, the Vandul, or you've gotten back on a mission. I felt like she just flew back, and now everybody's celebrating her. They actually start chanting Sandy, which I think is great. But they did a great job on the aesthetic with the ship at the conference. I think that they did everything very tasteful, and kudos to everybody who was involved on this. They did it with a wonderful job. And so let's get involved now with the legitimacy of the game. People saying that this is a hoax and this is, not going to happen. There was such a there's so much drama involved with this game. There's so many haters out there. Now that Gary Oldman's involved, now that you have actual names behind this where the money is actually being spent, a lot of the haters, a lot of the naysayers need to take a step back and just really look at this, and say, wait a second, this game actually might be a game. Imagine that, I think there's a lot of skepticism because our own money is in it. We've talked about this in prior videos. I won't get too far in it other than talking about Derek Smart and the drama that happened last week on The Escapist.
That's something that would be interesting to keep an eye on.
Yeah. I think it's also important to note, I know Derek Smart is a controversial personality on the internet. A lot of people really, really don't like that guy. And I don't know him personally, but he is a smarmy bastard on the internet. There is no denying that. You just cannot factually deny that he's a smarmy bastard on the internet.
It would be very dishonest.
But
to try to
just
deny
because
that.
you think somebody's an asshole does not make the facts that they point to incorrect. Like, that's a big thing that I've seen with comments and feedback on Liz's piece is, oh, but Derek Smart has no credibility. Derek Smart's an asshole. Derek Smart this, Derek Smart that. It's like Derek Smart was kind of the impetus to look into these facts, but Just because he pointed at the facts does not make them untrue.
And the escape is not pointing at any facts, because Derek Smart is an older gentleman who was an independent game developer who had allegations such as Sandy and her HR department were racist because they do not hire any African Americans at SIG, which is false. A lot of things that were said by Derek were false, and the escape is backed up Derek as truth, as if whatever Derek said was truth. And Chris said, you know what, enough of this. I'm tired of this. I'm just going to put out this letter that says, basically, escapist, you need to apologize, or I'm going to pursue you legally. To which the escapist kind of went, whoa, and the situation then diffused itself. But, you know, this is the thing about Derek Smart, older game developer. His game wasn't as successful as the Wing Commander series back in the day that Chris had brought out. Sorry, that's how life works. And then Derek becomes super psychopathic. The point is this. Chris made it successful, made money off of it. Derek didn't make the same. Derek's upset, hence the allegations. Escapist comes along, backs up Derek, says everything Derek's saying is actually fact, and Chris saying, wait 1 second, now it's time to put legal ownage on this. So enough of this drama. Basically, it amounts to this.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Guys!
What's next, Star Citizens? What's next, Gamers? Well, I'll tell you what's next. It's a finished, polished game. I mean, it's coming along. Citizencon basically gave me that belief. It gave me something more solid, more tangible. I'm not worried about the naysayers anymore. I'm not worried about everything I just talked about. In fact, out of sight, out of mind. I'm never going to do another video on it again. The stats they gave me, that there's almost 1 million of us, 1 million strong, in a game with 270 employees creating it for us daily. I can't look at this anymore and even have any doubts. I'm going to go over some of the points we have from Citizencon, the things that impressed me. Obviously 1.3 is going to be fixing just minor bugs and issues, chat, new spawn points, things like of that nature. Nothing huge, nothing major, but I'm looking forward to the 2.0 alpha release. And he did not give a date, which is funny. I think they really watch us, because I had done a video where I said, Chris, stop giving the dates out, because it just gets people upset. And there's another instance that happens. I will tell you after this, but check this little clip out. I found it really funny.
You know, one of the, I think the big things from this is to let you guys know that we sort of decided that, you know, FPS is really integral to the whole experience. And so you know, our focus is we're going to give you SC Alpha 2.0 with all that. That's actually going to be, I don't want to give you dates because everyone gives me shit for giving you dates. So let me say it's in the near future.
So great. And the other thing that I noticed was when we had talked on the Gamescom video, you know, there is a dev that watches us. It is confirmed, and they do watch DaGaimez, which is great. But I had complained, or I didn't really complain, I just made the observation that I would like to feel the thrust going off the landing pad. I would like to see things happening. I understand it's space. I still want it to be realistic, but I need to feel as if it's a little bit more than like X and Y and nothing else going on. I want to feel, you know, the thrust and, you know, the whole thing. And that actually within this presentation is fixed. It's fantastic. I think we really have a voice here. We have a shot to continue to tell them they want to hear us, gamers. You know, this is great. This is a wonderful platform. So please voice your comments and your opinions down below. And yes, so let's get back into the 2.0 alpha.
Is going to be the beginning of the full Star Citizen universe. So we've sort of made a decision to put, so instead of multi-crew and instead of it being Arena Commander, we're putting you in the beginning of what is the Star Citizen universe. So at the start, it's just going to be around Crusader, which is a huge gas giant. It's in the Stanton system. And in SC Alpha 2.0, everything's going to be in. So you're going to have the space flight, the EVA, the first-person combat shooting, social, and we actually have missions. So there's lots of different areas to visit. There's something like currently 38 different missions you can sort of do around it. So you'll be able to fight against AI or fight against other players or cooperate with other players. So it's going to be sort of a big sandbox for people to play around in. And it's sort of enabled by the large world technology. So just to give you an idea, the playable area on the large world map that we're currently using is 1 million kilometers by 1 million kilometers by 200 kilometers high. So that's, well, if you just want to talk about square area, it's about 1 trillion kilometers. And if you want to actually talk about the overall volume, what was it? 200 quadrillion kilometers. So to give you an idea, I think we were trying to figure out other games. The biggest game that we could find online that was said was the Elder Scrolls 2, which is meant to have 161,000 kilometer square map. And then there was Lord of the Rings, which I think 71,000 kilometer square map. And Skyrim's actually smaller than those. So in terms of layout and area, that's why we have the large world, is so we can put huge areas in them and play solar systems. I do realize that a full solar system's much bigger than 1 million kilometers wide, although on some level we'll do some compression of play spaces, because you don't want to be, even at 0.2 speed of light, you don't want to be sitting for 3 hours like in quantum travel. But we're definitely, it's a huge play area.
Quantum drive activated. Quantum drive deactivated.
And Gaimerz, I thought that was important for you to hear that much. The fact that you've got this much area where all of us in a sandbox can start in. Chris talks about how this is just one area, a system, a solar system. This isn't the galaxy. He's just talking about one solar system area where you can, cruise around and fight and build and whatever it is that you want to do in this particular system. I won't even start with the arc map yet, because I'm going to be doing a whole video about the arc map, the importance of distances, the importance of the three-dimensional realm that we're going to be playing in. This I will talk about on another episode, which will be coming out shortly this week. If you look at the schedule on our G Plus page or our Facebook page, you'll be able to find the schedule there, Gaimerz. But I'm very impressed with the arc map. I'll leave it at that, and that will be its own video. That's how amazingly impressed I was with the map and the fact that there's this much space dedicated for us to play in. This game is going to be so different than anything that you've ever experienced. He's leaving the room there to add to it, to add storyline, to add things that are also player driven, missions, and it's space. It's huge, and that's what he's provided for us, an area of space that is unparalleled in any other game. Another highlight that I liked, Gaimerz, was the Mile High Club. He talks about like it being like a special bar. I don't know if this was for backers originally or those that have spent like a certain amount of money. If anybody knows this, I wasn't aware of it. I tried to find it within the presentation. If you guys want to watch that again and let me know, some of you might know the answer how I can get this amazing Mile High Club lounge. Let me know, because I want it. Some of the really cool features in there are jukebox, which I think you can load your own MP3s into, which is pretty cool. And it's kind of like your chill out spot for like a high-end penthouse lounge hangar area for your friends. So let me know, guys. I don't think it's for everyone. I think it's for only a certain amount of people. So put it in the comments below, Gaimerz. Let me know. And finally, a point here, and I'm kind of wrapping it up a little short. I hate to do it, but it's getting late, and I want to make sure this video is done for all of you gamers. There's so much more I want to talk about. Unfortunately, do not have the time, but I like the fact that SciTech was working directly with SIG and making a Star Citizen HOTAS. The HOTAS looked pretty slick. I still think it needs a little bit of work. kind of looks hokey on the color. I'm sure they'll have color options. They talk about an LED layout. It comes with a whole suite. You get keyboard, and it looks like an interesting HOTAS. I will definitely be picking that up and doing a review as long as we get more support on our Patreon page, Gaimerz. Yes, I need more support. I am also going to be doing a video about an amazing feat that has happened here on DaGaimez. We have hit our second milestone. That video will be tomorrow. Thanks for watching all the way, Gaimerz, and a very special interview, well, back and forth one-on-one with one of our very own Gaimerz, a patron who has got basically put us over the second milestone, and it's going to be a very, very fun video. So I hope you guys watch that. Thanks, Gaimerz, for watching. Anything you guys want to put down below, let me know. I'm going to be working on more content. I am focusing more on the channel. Thank you so much again. Couldn't be doing this, guys, without you. All right, Gaimerz, stay tuned for the next episode.